Hi everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Oh Fox, and this is put out by Cinnamon Games. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out.
So this game is so cute, right? It's got all these little animals, all these little critters.
Yeah.
Wrong! This game is about carnage and death and the food chain and predators eating prey and escaping and dying. Let me show you what it looks like on the table. Alright, here we are set up for a two-player game of Oh Fox. So basically in this game, there is prey and there are predators. You're going to score most of your points in this game by trying to get food. The prey are trying to get food that's on the board, whereas the predators are trying to get food by being where the prey are, aka eating them. So there are 6 of the prey cards in the game. We're going to shuffle them up. We're going to put 3 of them face up. So let's say we've got a little hedgehog, we've got the bird, and we've got a frog. There's also 4 of the predator cards. We're going to shuffle those up and put 2 of those out there. So let's say we have a badger, and then we have a viper. So we have another smaller deck of cards over here, which basically is a mirror image of all those same animals, but they are going to be shuffled down and they're handed out face down. Every game will have 1 predator in it. So in this game, let's say this character over here is the predator. They have this little teeth thing over here. They are the badger. We don't necessarily know that yet, but we're just going to do that for the sake of teaching it. And let's say us over here, the blue character, we're going to be the frog. Again, the predator normally wouldn't know that, but for the sake of teaching, that's what's face up now. Every character, the predators and the prey, have an identical deck of 13 cards that are all the movement cards. So there's a lot of different things that you can do in this deck. So this one obviously is just a move at one spot, and you can turn it in any direction that you want. Then the next card is a double move. Same thing, it moves 2 spots in whatever direction you pointed at. So let's say you pointed that way, you'd move this guy here, and then you'd follow that again there. This little circle spot is what you need to eat when you are the prey. If we have to go to where one of the food that you like is, and then you have to eat. So let's say we moved a move to get here. Here there's worms and acorns. We are the frog. The frog likes worms, so we could eat there, and we would get 1 point. There are also cards like that say it's a move, plus wherever you end up, you could eat there too if it matches your food type. The most important card of all is that one there. That's your trigger ability. So basically what we're doing while we're playing these cards is we're kind of programming our character of what they're going to do. And the programming isn't going to actually resolve until the very end of the game. However, the board is kind of owned by the predator. The predator gets a chance to see what cards we're playing, and what they do is they kind of take a guess of where they think we're going. So, okay, so we can see we move 2 arrows, we go over here. So, okay, they're probably eating, okay, so that's good. So they're going this way, and they're trying to chase us, right? They're trying to move where they think we're going. And since all the movement cards are face up, it's really not that hard to figure out where everybody is. However, this card, the trigger ability, does something different for each character, which is why it's important. Nobody knows which character is which. Like, I know we have ours face up, but that's not how the game is really played. So, when we play this card, in our head, we know where we landed, but the predator, who's the one actually controlling the board, they're thinking, oh, boy, I think they were maybe a bird, which is going to move to, the nearest closest house, or maybe they're a hedgehog, which moves 1 spot ahead but doesn't get attacked, or, the frog gets moved to this middle spot there and takes a heart. And I think that they've been acting like they're the bird, so I'm going to guess that's what they did. And similarly, we don't really know what the predator's doing either. They're playing all their cards face up as well, but the predators have different trigger abilities as well. The badger can move from tunnel to tunnel. The viper goes to a spot and then comes right back. So again, the predator, they can move their spot on the board exactly where they are, but then everyone would really know that. They could also have the choice to kind of bluff a little bit. They can make it seem like they're the viper, and they take their pawn, move it right back, but really they're the badger and they tunneled somewhere, or whatever the case is. Every character has 13 cards in their hand. We're going to play 8 of them. So again, we're going to play those 8 cards face up. We'll rotate them however you want in order to make them do what you want. And again, the predator's kind of running the board, placing things where they think you went and where they think they went, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end, once all 8 cards have been played, then we start everybody back at the beginning, and then we actually reveal how everything went. Before we reveal our characters, the predators do have a chance to guess who all the characters were. So since we're the frog, if they were able to correctly guess that we were the frog, they get an extra point. If we were playing a 4-player game, they would have to pick out all 3 other prey characters correctly in order to get the extra point. After that, we then reveal our characters. The predators get their points if they earned any. Then we run through where our pawns actually went, and if we actually achieved any of the food that we were supposed to get. So again, if our frog landed on one of the worms, we would get a point. These little heart tokens here. If the prey is able to get 3 or more of their food that they get, they also get an additional heart as kind of a bonus. If you ever cross paths with the predator then gets a food, but you, however, get a broken heart. We'll call that just having some of your tribe getting eaten, I suppose. If the predator was able to get every single solitary other player on the board, they get an additional heart. So in a 2-player game, there's only one prey for them to eat. If they eat that character, they do get an additional point as well. Anytime someone lands in that middle spot, that little heart there, and they have one of these little blue broken hearts, they get to heal that off. And if the prey are able to return to their home base by the end of the game, they get an extra point as well. There are some objective cards which I think are a lot of fun. Basically, you shuffle them up and deal out 2 of them. Then if you meet those objectives, you get an extra point. This one says, if you play all 4 of the go 1 spots, you get a point. And this one says, if you ever use that circle card while you're in that middle heart spot, you get a point for that. So there's all different cards that can do all different abilities and give you extra points. So at the end of the game, you're going to add up all your points, and whoever has the most hearts wins. If there is a tie, it goes to whoever used their trigger card, that one there, later on in the game. So for instance, if I used mine on turn 2 to try to throw somebody off as far as where I was, and somebody else used theirs on turn 5, because they used it later on in the game, they would be the winner if we had a tie score.
So I like how in this game, if you're playing the prey or the predator, you're literally doing the exact same thing, the actions, playing the card and moving or guessing where you're moving. But it felt different. It felt different if you were playing the prey as opposed to playing the predator. It felt like how you were playing those, why you were playing those, what you were trying to play out felt different. And it was, because one, you're trying to eat and escape, and the other one, you're just trying to eat and catch. And so I like how even though you're taking the same actions, it felt different playing either one.
I like kind of the hidden movement in this game. So everyone can see where you're going until you play those trigger cards. And then it's just like a mystery, like what just happened? Where did they go? And you have to make a decision, kind of based off of what you think they did and what they've been acting like. And I love that kind of the hidden movement at that point. Then it's like almost like Captain Sonar. They went blind for a little while, and then you have to go find them again based off of what they're eating and that kind of stuff. And I thought that was super interesting. I like the hidden movement.
And I feel like there's there's enough variety in this game. There's 4 predator and 6 prey.
Right.
So those are not all going to be at play. I mean, there's only going to be 1 predator in prey. One predator
in play.
I said in prey.
One predator in play.
Yes, 1 predator in play at a time. So I feel like you would get a decent variety when you're playing these, especially if you have a full player count and you don't know what's happening with who's playing who and who's playing what, and then you add more people in, especially if you just figured out what everybody was doing and then they switched it up. I just felt like they had enough different animals in there.
And speaking of that, I like the deduction part of it too. So as the predator, you have to then at the end of the game figure out, based off of the patterns that they were using, what you thought they might have been eating, who they were. And I think it's just a really fun way of incentivizing kind of paying attention to that. You get an extra point if you're able to figure that out, and it's really tough sometimes. And I was doing that. I think I did a good job too as a prey. I was acting like one thing, but really I was a different thing. It helped that there was 2 people that both ate acorns or whatever it was, So I thought that hidden, the deduction part of that at the end of the game was really neat.
So overall, I felt like this game really hit a niche. It is a nice family weight deduction game. So I feel like this is a game you could play with your whole family. So you could play with the kids and play with yourself. The kids could have fun with it and do whatever and not be overwhelmed, whereas the older people in the family can still have a game and still try to suss everything out. So I just really liked the weight of this game and how it fit this deduction family game that I don't know, maybe there's a lot of family deduction games. I just haven't played them. But I just felt like this did a really good job of filling in that market.
Yeah, so I think the points in this game were very close. It's not like,
Yeah.
sometimes you play games where it's like 250 to 180, and it's just like, oh, it feels awful. Where this game, it's more like 5 points to 4 points.
Yeah.
That's kind of more the ranges that you're working in. So that was kind of cool. I also liked, the theming of this game was very cute. The art was very cute, but at the same time, there was that was, it was much more advanced than the cute theme would lay on. You have to kind of duck and cover and hide and all that kind of stuff. So I think that was a strength of the game. I will say that even though it is quite fast, this is not a game that you want to play 3, 4, 5 times back to back. I think it's perfect to play it like a couple of times. Let other people be a chance to be the predator and the prey and switch that around. But then after that, don't let it overstay its welcome. We'll kind of lose that fun, lose that the excitement. So yeah, no, we really enjoyed O'Fox.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out. And you'll want to do that because we have a contest coming up soon. Yay! The crowd went wild. But until then, you can follow us on all the places. You can find us on Facebook under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can find us on Twitter under Ryan and Bethany 1. And you can also find us on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany.
Everybody, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.